Good morning on this Tuesday, September 13th. I'm Nicole Rogers. President Biden will make his way to the Diamond City today to speak about his Safer America plan. And Eyewitness News has live team coverage of everything you need to know. A scary scene in Luzerne County after a child was hit by a car and trapped underneath the vehicle. One person was injured in a fire in Lackawanna County this morning. Students, teammates, and community members came together Friday night to honor the life of a student who was tragically murdered last month. They do this so purposely. They're so smart at it too, because the green bubbles, there's no reason for them to be green. And a statewide organization teamed up with area educators to rally against a gubernatorial candidate's alleged plans to cut public school funding. All week long, we are focusing on education. One of the biggest problems that unions and schools can agree on is the growing crisis of teacher shortages. How great is this? We talked about how we love the one that just came in Wilkes-Barre, and it just really brightens up the city. We'll get to this morning's top news stories in just a moment, but first, meteorologist Logan Westrup joins us with yet another rainy forecast. A former principal at Williamsport Area High School is heading to trial after he allegedly had improper relationship with a student. And in other news, a new scam has popped up in Lackawanna County targeting homeowners. A man had to be rescued after he fell into the Nayaw Gorge in Lackawanna County. Eyewitness News got exclusive access to the site where the extended taxiway will be installed. Definitely a big switch to virtual learning. The pandemic had a lot to do with it, but very sad as I was doing this story, found out a lot of kids that are doing virtual learning because of inflation, they have to have full-time jobs to help their families, and this is just how they have to learn. We've been watching this entire journey since her death, and really it is just so interesting seeing that reaction from around the world, from people who may have never even been overseas. He's trying to make it sound better, that it's going to be a rainy day on the last official day of summer. Very interesting. I mean, you always watch this, and like we were saying earlier, if you're on the hunt for a new TV show, which I am, this is the way to find one. Like, they have Squid Games on here, which you saw, but I haven't seen yet. Good morning, and thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Nicole Rogers. We'll get to this morning's top news stories in just a moment, but first let's get a check of the forecast with meteorologist Kevin Dirk. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Nicole. We do have some showers to talk about in just a few minutes, Nicole.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Kevin. A late-night structure fire happened in Luzerne County. The fire broke out early Friday evening on the 100 block of East Broad Street in Hazleton. As you could see, there was a heavy police and firefighting presence at the location. No word yet on if there were any injuries. We will have more as the story develops. A touching tribute during a high school football game in Luzerne County. Students, teammates, and community members came together Friday night to honor the life of a student who was tragically murdered last month. 2822 Eyewitness News reporter Madonna Mantillon explains. Last week, 17-year-old Alan J. Myers was arrested and charged as an adult for the murder. He's jailed without bail at the Luzerne County Prison. His next court date is scheduled for October 27th. Pennsylvania is launching a free school breakfast program benefiting 1.7 million public and private school students. The $21.5 million plan, which begins next month, will run through the rest of the school year. It's being funded with money from last year's School Food Services General Fund appropriation. It is available for all schools in the school lunch and school breakfast programs. The program is open to all students, no matter their grade or income. At the Crestwood football game Friday night, they honored our nation's veterans. A tank was at the entrance of the field. The event included a flag ceremony and fireworks, and they honored Raymond Samolis, who served in the U.S. Army in World War II from 1944 to 1946. Samolis served in the Pacific Theater during World War II. A Hazleton man is facing charges for a murder that happened 11 years ago. 49-year-old Rafael Gonzalez Aguirre is behind bars this morning. He's facing homicide and numerous other charges dating back to October of 2011. Investigators say Gonzalez Aguirre shot 30-year-old Cesar Robles to death in a Chestnut Street home. They say it happened after he sexually assaulted Robles' niece at gunpoint. Along with homicide, Gonzalez Aguirre is charged with unlawful restraint and forcible compulsion. Police have not said how they were able to get Gonzalez Aguirre into custody. There's been a breakthrough to report this morning on a strike by hundreds of nursing home employees across the Commonwealth. The union, SEIU Healthcare, says a tentative agreement has been reached after months of negotiations. They did not release any specifics of the tentative agreement, but say workers will hear details, then vote on the proposal. Workers at about 300 nursing homes in Pennsylvania walked off the job last week. In this week's Here's to You, Kid, we feature a Lake Lehman student who had a unique senior project idea. 2022 Eyewitness News reporter Thomas Battle has the story. The event raised more than $9,000, all going to the Wilson family. If you know a kid that we should feature in our Here's to You Kids segment, let us know at pahomepage.com. And stay tuned, Eyewitness Sports is coming up right after this.